Hi everyone, today I have a lace tutorial for you, and I recently learned this stitch and I used it on a washcloth. Here it is. I made a washcloth from it. I thought it was nice. Now I did make a garter stitch border around it because I didn't want it to curl up and I didn't want it to get too stretchy because it's quite stretchy. But I think it looks pretty, and I just wanted to share it with you. It's very simple. It's a 2-row repeat worked on multiple of 3 stitches plus 1. And here I have a sample or another dishcloth and I have 41 stitches. 5 stitches on both sides for the garter stitch and 31 in the middle, which makes it a multiple of 3 plus 1. And it's very easy. I'm just gonna show you how to work it. So you need a row counter for it until you learn the stitch, and I found that the first couple of rows I got a bit confused on how to start it and how it ended, but after a while you get used to it and you'll learn it. You won't even know, but you'll learn it, and the stitches will just work easily. It's quite loose. So for this one I'm using 100% cotton and 4mm needles, and these are my Knit Pro cubics, Nova cubics. Now for the first row I'm just going to work my garter stitch, which is 5 stitches, 3, 4, 5. And then the first row goes like this. We're going to knit 1, we're going to yarn over, we're going to slip 1, then we're going to knit 2, and then we're going to pick the slip stitch with our left needle, and we're going to slip it over the 2 stitches that we knit, and this makes that yarn stretch here, which looks pretty. And the next one we're going to yarn over, we're going to slip 1 stitch, knit 2, pick the slip stitch and bring it over the 2 knitted stitches. Then we're going to yarn over again, slip 1, knit 2, pick the slip stitch and bring it over the 2 knitted stitches. And I want to show you how you know you're on the right track. As you can see, you have the yarn over from the previous right side row here, and you want to slip the stitch that comes before that yarn over. So here we go, you can see it better like this. So now I know that I'm gonna slip this stitch and I'm gonna knit the next 2, because this is the yarn over from the previous right side row. So yarn over, slip the stitch, knit 2 stitches, pick the slip stitch, bring it over, and then yarn over. So we need to alternate these yarn overs. As you can see, we start, let me show you at the beginning here. We started with yarn overs here, and then the next yarn overs has to be in between the 2, always in between the 2. That's how you know you're on the right road to your lace. So yarn over, slip 1, knit 2, past the slip stitch, yarn over, knit 1, slip 1, knit 2, past the slip stitch, yarn over, slip 1, knit 2, and keep going until you get to the end. And in my work here, I'll show you, I only have 1 stitch left, so I'm going to yarn over and knit that last stitch and then knit my garter stitch. Sometimes you end up, depending on how many stitches you count, that you cast on for your row, but just remember that on the right side, the last set of stitches for the lace was yarn over, knit 1, and then you'll end up with the same pattern going up. Now, I think I said this is a 2-row repeat, which is wrong because it's a 4-row repeat. What I meant was we only work pattern on the right side, because on the wrong side we only purl. So I'm just going to work my garter stitch, which is 5 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just purl all across until you get to your garter stitch, and then knit your garter stitch, and I'll see you when you're finished. Okay, so when you finish the wrong side row, which was purled through all the stitches, we're gonna do our second pattern row, or you could call it the 3rd row of this lace stitch. I'm gonna start by knitting my garter stitch border, 5 stitches, and now for this row I'm gonna slip 1, knit 2, pick the slip stitch and bring it over the 2 knitted stitches, and then yarn over, and continue like this until the end of the row. And here you have your yarn over in between the previous yarn overs that we had. And as you can see here, I'm gonna yarn over and slip the stitch that's just before this hole here. That's how you know you're on the right track. So here we are at the end of our 3rd row. I'm just going to knit my garter stitch. And then for the 4th row, we're going to just purl all across the wrong side. So on the right side, for the 1st row, we do the pattern. On the wrong side for the 2nd row, we do the purls. On the right side for the 3rd row, we do the pattern that I just showed you. And on the wrong side for the 4th row, we do the purls. And I just want to stretch this out a little bit to show you that you know you're in pattern if you go diagonally from one side, like from here to here. that all your lines, or how should I call them, all your work, it's at the same thickness, and if you go the other way is the same. And I'll show you what it means, because in my dishcloth here I made a mistake because I was watching Netflix without thinking. And if you look closely, if we go from here, so they're all like chunky ones, and then I have a thin one, chunky, thin one. So I know that this row and this row is where I made the mistake. So you want to concentrate on that. And I do recommend that you keep a row counter in order to, you know, stay away from mistakes like this. And after a while, I promise you that you'll learn the technique, and you'll learn the stitches and where you are in your work, and you won't need a row counter. But to begin with, I recommend a row counter. But yeah, this is it. It's called the netting stitch, and it's a lace stitch. Would be beautiful for like a summer top, maybe a boat neck top, sleeveless maybe, or a dishcloth like mine. So yeah, give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.